the fuel that came out of our fuel tank, I don't think that's even fuel anymore. The pump is destroyed. I mean, the rust on this is unbelievable. Yeah, that's disgusting. So this is what I'm doing in order to flush out the tank. I need to make sure that they are very clean before I try to cut into them. And the reason I have to cut into them is because there is so much rust in the bottom of these. I mean, handfuls of rust. So the only way to get it all out is to cut the top open. At least a hole large enough for me to get my hand in. Scoop out what's in there. Maybe do some rust converting in there. But I have to make sure they're both really clean. Right now this is flushing out. Clear. It still stinks, Jesus. It stinks really bad. Oh look, so you can see this. So I just have to flush it as much as possible to make sure these are really clean. I don't want to blow up. As you guys can see on this tank, we marked a line around the tank with a white marker. That's where we're going to clean up before we cut it. So we're going to cut the whole top of that tank off. So as you see here, I already started cleaning this tank. So the reason I am cleaning the tank now before I cut it is because I want it cleaned before I weld it. I don't want to have to try and clean this tank whenever it's cut in two pieces. It's going to be hard to handle. It's going to be hard to get the two sides to go back together.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
Let's look at it for the first time together. Look at that. And that's after washing for an hour. We soaked it with degreaser overnight. Unfortunate for us, we found 2 pinholes somewhere in this corner. There, look. Oh, yeah. I have buffed the bottom of the first tank, and I actually found 2 more holes. Once you buff it, you'll notice a lot of these craters, and what you need to do is take the pick and push, and try and push through. That way you know if it's thin metal or if you can save it. So there's 3 holes here and another one up here. I am not able to push through on any of these other craters, so I'm just going to tack weld these and then move on. A few squeezes of the welding machine later, and the holes are gone. First I welded the hole, then I took my angle grinder and little polishing pad, buffed it up a little bit. I don't know why, because the rest of this tank looks pretty bad, but at least it'll look more uniform once I put the rust converter down and paint it. The little Harbor Freight welding machine, it's doing a great job. It's a really good welding machine. This is tank number 2. These are old Chevy trucks. They came with 2 tanks, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. So we got very lucky that this tank has nearly no rust on the inside. We pressure washed it, made sure that it was clean, made sure there's no flakes in it. So we are going to buff the outside of it and put the rust converter, Corro-Seal. We're going to cover the entire outside of the tank with this Corro-Seal, and then we're going to paint it. And then we're going to pour some Corro-Seal in the tank, roll it around, coat all the inside of the tank, and this one will be done. Look how disgusting. Whenever you let a vehicle sit for 6 years, this is what happens. Things like this. Dirt daubers move in, make a home out of your beautiful engine. So, I'm trying to not make this video too long, but I just don't want to miss anything. On the back side of the throttle body, there's the fuel feed and the fuel return lines. I disconnected those and I blew air through them and wanted to blow out all of the dirt and such. And I blew back from the front of the engine back towards the fuel tanks, because the fuel tanks are not there right now, so there's just open lines. So blow back from the throttle body, blow it back to the fuel tanks, and there was some crud that came out of there. And also don't forget to change your fuel filter. Here's the 2 halves of our fuel tank. I need to take the top piece, put it on top of the lower piece, weld it all up. After I weld it up, I'm going to pour some more rust converter in the tank, roll it around, because I know once I weld it up, it's going to burn off some of that rust converter. So I want to try to minimize that by pouring in some more rust converter and rolling it around, trying to cover up what I burn off. I have it all welded back together now. The perfectionist in me, I want to grind this down. I figure if I do that, I might take away some of the weld and it may leak. So therefore, I'm gonna fight the urge of grinding it smooth, and I'm gonna leave it just like it is. I have the tank filled with water. I wanna do a video of what she looks like, because it's about to start raining and it's hard to find a leak in the rain. I don't see any leaks. It is filled with water. We jumped ahead. We are impatient and we want to get this truck running. So we did not paint this tank yet. We did not paint the front of the frame yet. We just want to hear this engine running, and we're just in a hurry to do that. Okay, so whenever we chopped our frame, we took 4 inches out of here. And in the process of doing that, we cut out 2 of our rear bolt mounts for the gas tank. So I have to remark those, re-drill those. Everything on this side over here looks like it's going to clear just fine. So there's room here. I can put my hand in between here. That's going to be fine. So we just have to re-drill these holes, re-drill this upper and lower hole for the fuel tank mount. The tank is installed, ready to go. Something I didn't mention before is that this is the 20-gallon tank, and if we would not have moved back our spring hangers, if we would not have moved them back 3 inches, this 20-gallon tank would not have fit. So that's why a lot of people have to go with a 15-gallon tank after they shorten their frame and go to a short bed conversion. The 20-gallon tank just won't fit because of the spring hangers. Do it again. It's kicking flames. One more time. I gotta get it good. All right, go.
thank you to those who made it to the end of this video. I'm sure it was a difficult watch. It's hard to watch someone work on a fuel tank. But we got it running, and I hope that was good news to some of you.